insomnia for as long as I can remember. And I've tried pretty much every sleep medication, natural remedy, and relaxation technique out there. Nothing's done the trick, so when my doctor suggested I try Ambien, I figured I'd give it a shot. Here's some free medical advice. 1, Ambien definitely works. It will put you to sleep. 2, the secret is get in bed and stay there. Don't pop an Ambien and then go on eBay. This is not the time to start buying antique door knockers for a collection you don't even have. 3, shut the fuck up. Even if it means duct taping your mouth closed. Because nothing that'll come out of your mouth for the next 8 hours will be anything even remotely appropriate or sane. They do not put that shit on the label, but it would have been amazing to know this information the night I first took Ambien, which was also the evening before my daughter's first day of high school. After my Ambien-inspired online shopping binge, I got into bed with sweet dreams of newly acquired door knockers already dancing through my head. My daughter, Katie, walked into the room and headed for the bathroom, clearly searching for something. "Hey, sweetheart, I need to tell you something really important," I said. Except I didn't. It was like I was watching a movie. I had no idea what the next line of dialogue was going to be, despite the fact that I would be the one delivering it urgently. "Sure, what's up?" Katie asked, stopping at my bedside. I smiled at her freckled face framed by 2 long braids. She looked like an ad for milk and cookies. She was like my Rory Gilmore, but our house also had a modern-day Ward Cleaver, my husband William. We were like wholesome headquarters, more or less. As Katie stood by my bedside, I told her, "Tomorrow, you're starting high school, and you may start dating." "Okay," she said with a shrug. "And making out with boys." Katie made a gesture with her hand, encouraging me to continue. "And sometimes, when you're making out with a boy, he'll start to give your head this little push down. Guide you somewhere." Katie's eyebrows rose with confusion. A combination of, "What are you talking about?" and "Why are you telling me this?" Her quizzical expression was no deterrent for me, though, because the Ambien had punched a giant hole through my head, or through the filter where normally between my brain and my mouth. "That boy is trying to get you to give him a blowjob. And I want to tell you right now that you need to keep his dick out of your mouth. Not just his dick, any dick. Got it? Keep the dick out of your mouth." Okay, Katie said. "No, I'm serious. There's nothing wrong with a dick in your mouth when you're older, and that dick is a worthy dick. For now, I need you to keep that dick out of your mouth, okay? Promise, Mommy." "Okay, whatever. I just came in here for my retainer. There's no dick anywhere near my mouth." Sane me would have stopped at this. Sane me would have never started this. But Ambien Mama could not stop talking about dicks in mouths. It's not like Katie was sexually precocious. She was actually behind the curve in terms of her interest in dating and sex. When we did the bar mitzvah circuit the year earlier, Katie's dancing was decidedly less provocative than most of her peers. She didn't shake her booty. She didn't gyrate her pelvis. Sweet Katie looked more like she was in the cast of Riverdance. I just think it's important for you to know that this pushing down on the head thing is an old trick. And I don't want you to be caught with a dick in your mouth that you don't want there because you didn't think about your boundaries beforehand. Katie found her retainer and rinsed it in the sink. Through the open door, she assured me, "Okay, got it. Thanks for the motherly advice. No dick." "Oh, seriously, Katie," I said, now with tears streaking my cheeks. "I'm telling you this because I love you. I really, truly need you to keep the dick out of here for many, many years." Katie wiped away my tears with a sheet of toilet paper that she pulled from the roll, and she realized that there was something more to this story. "Did you put a dick in your mouth?" By this point in Katie's life, we had already had plenty of conversations about sexuality. I told Katie that sex was one of the many things that she could enjoy later in life, like driving and voting and drinking wine. We'd even talked about consent, but we'd never gotten into the murky territory of coercion. "Yes," I told Katie. "I had this boyfriend in high school, and we were fooling around, and he kept doing that thing with the head pushing, and finally I was like, all right already, fine. But then a few seconds later, I was like, why do I have this dick in my mouth? I do not like this dick in my mouth." Katie laughed. "You did not like dick here nor there? You did not like dick anywhere?" "Exactly," I told her. So I backed away from the dick. I left his bedroom, hopped on the bus home, and I never returned any of his phone calls after that. He even wrote an apology letter, but it was too late. I explained to my daughter that I felt pressured by this boy and betrayed by my own ability to draw boundaries. I wanted better for her. It really wasn't about the dick, I told her. Dick is not the enemy, and sex is not bad, but feeling coerced, manipulated, and weak was something I hoped she'd never experience. I wanted Katie to understand that she was in control of her sexuality. Thanks to the Ambien, I woke up the next morning with zero memory of this incident and went about my day merrily. But when I pulled my minivan up to the side of the high school to pick her up and saw Katie with her little red backpack bopping up and waving at me, it all came rushing back. Holy crap, I thought, as she made her way toward me. What do I even say to her? I'm sorry about last night. Mommy was on drugs. Instead, I went with a more innocuous, "Hey, honey, how was school?" "It was a great success," Katie chirped. And then she opened her mouth and said, "See? No dick." So, yeah, she wasn't scarred by this, but I felt like I needed to say something about it. So, about last night, Katie's eyes lit up. That talk was awesome. I mean, I totally get it. Don't get pressured to put a dick in my mouth today, or I'll still be perseverating on it 30 years later. I got that message loud and clear. And Mommy, I'm sorry that guy was such an asshole. Yeah, that went stunningly well. But then I had one more person I needed to talk to about this. My husband, William. He's a cultural anthropologist, so he writes off a lot of my shenanigans as the customs of my tribe, the ways of my people. But the Ambien-fueled mommy and me dick in the mouth story time may have crossed a line. I won't say anything to Daddy, Katie promised. While I had made some questionable choices, I wasn't about to compound them by asking my child to keep secrets. No, Katie, I need to tell your father what happened. He has a right to know. At dinner that evening, William listened attentively. I explained. William chewed his food. I apologized. William nodded his head, taking it all in. Katie's eyes darted between the two of us as she ate. When I finished, the kitchen was so silent I could hear the ticking of the clock on the wall. William inhaled deeply before he spoke. I think that's a wonderful story your mother shared, Katie. There are two ways to learn about life: experiencing it and hearing other people's stories. Your mother has just given you some great life lessons. Think about what you want to do or not do before going into a situation. And if you find yourself someplace you don't want to be, it's never too late to change your mind. William leaned back in his chair and raised his finger in the air to make a point. Katie, this is an excellent metaphor. In life, if you find yourself with a dick in your mouth and you don't want it there, get up, turn around and leave. Just like your mother did. That night, as I got ready for bed, I decided I'd lay off the Ambien. A night or two with a hot mess of a mother made for an interesting childhood, but any more was starting to veer into territory I didn't want to go. Thanks for being so understanding, I said to William as he brushed his teeth at the bathroom sink. He finished, toweled off his face, and said, "No thanks necessary. I think the world is much richer when people give each other the chance to see life without filters or curation." I smiled at my good fortune at finding someone who would not only accept my imperfections, but view them as assets. Seeing how William embraced life in all of its flawed grittiness made me love him just a little more. I could really trust this guy, and that was beautiful. Sexy, even. My ability to choose a great partner had improved so much since that night in high school when my boyfriend pushed too hard for a blowjob. If only he would have been kind and patient and understanding like William, he would have had what my husband has today, a woman who adores him and really, truly wants his dick in her mouth.